I gave my son my heart, but he and his wife thought this old man was too frail to catch the poison in my wine. I turned their betrayal into their ruin. If that betrayal shocks you, like, share with your crew, and subscribe to see my revenge. I was toasting to my retirement glass raised high when I caught my daughter-in-law Claire slipping poison into my wine. Yeah, you heard that right, poison. I'm Bob Harrison, 68, standing in my Chicago villa, decked out for the party of the decade. I'd just sold my tech company built from nothing over 40 years, and the place was alive with friends, old colleagues, and my family. Ethan, my son, Claire, his wife, Ellen, her mom, and my granddaughter Lily, my pride and joy. The air smelled of roses from the garden my late wife Susan loved, and I was wearing the navy suit she always said looked sharp on me. For a moment, I felt like I'd won at life. But that moment, it shattered faster than a cheap wine glass. The villa was buzzing jazz, playing soft folks, laughing plates of crab cakes circling. About 40 people all here to celebrate me, hanging up my hat. I was by the kitchen island swapping stories with my old pal Tom when Lily bounced over. "Grandpa Bob," she said, her grin lighting up the room. "You're my hero for covering my tuition. I'm gonna make you proud at Northwestern." I ruffled her hair, chuckling. "Kiddo, you already do. Just don't forget me when you're a big-shot lawyer." That girl's my heart, plain and simple, and talking to her made me feel like maybe I'd done something right as a dad and grandpa. Then I saw it. Claire over by the bar, glancing around like she was pulling off a heist. She pulled a small vial from her clutch and dripped something into my wine glass, the one with the R Susan had etched for our anniversary. My mouth went dry. Poison. No way. Not Claire. She's the one who calls me. Dad sends me sappy cards. But that look in her eyes, cold calculated, told me this wasn't a mistake. My mind spun. Why me? Why now? I've spent decades outsmarting sharks in boardrooms. No way I was gonna let this slide. Claire wove through the crowd, that poisoned glass in hand, smiling like butter wouldn't melt. "Bob, you've earned a rest," she said, handing me the wine. "This Pinot's perfect for an old-timer like you." Old-timer, I thought. She thinks I'm past my prime. She's dead wrong. I took the glass, forcing a grin. "Thanks, Claire. You're too good to me." But my eyes flicked to Ethan across the room. He caught her glance, nodded, then looked away, avoiding my gaze like he did when he was a kid, caught lying. My chest tightened. I saw Ethan's face at Susan's funeral, his little hand in mine promising we'd always stick together. How could that boy want me dead? I've been around the block too long to panic. I kept chatting with Tom, laughing like nothing was wrong, but my brain was in overdrive. Claire was watching me, her fingers twitching. She's waiting for me to drink. Ellen was nearby chatting with a neighbor, her glass empty. I saw my chance. When Claire turned to show off her bracelet, I set my glass by Ellen's purse. "Ellen, grab a glass, join the toast," I called. She smiled, picked it up, and sipped. My heart pounded, but I kept my cool watching Claire. She didn't see the switch, not yet. Standing there, the party swirling around me, I felt a storm inside. Shock, sure, but worse hurt. I've given Ethan and Claire everything money for their house, Lily's tuition. And now they're trying to take me out. But under that pain was fire. If they thought this old man was too slow to see their game, they were about to get schooled. I raised my empty hand in a mock toast, smiling at the crowd, and thought, I'm keeping that wine bottle. It's gonna tell me the truth. Look, I've been in enough tight spots in my life to know you don't just stand there when someone's trying to play you dirty. I'm Bob Harrison, 68 years old, and I'm standing in my own damn villa holding a glass of wine. I'm pretty sure my daughter-in-law Claire just spiked with poison. My heart's pounding like a jackhammer, but I'm keeping my cool, smiling like I'm still the king of this retirement party. Claire's watching me, her eyes sharp, waiting for me to take a sip. My son Ethan is across the room avoiding my gaze like he's hiding something. I just saw Claire pour something from a vial into my wine glass, the one with the R etched on it, my special glass from Susan. I'm not drinking that, no way. But I need to know what's going on, and I need to do it without tipping them off. The party's still in full swing, jazz, humming people, laughing, glasses clinking. But all I can think about is that vial. Is it really poison? Why would Claire do this? And Ethan, is he in on it? My stomach's in knots, but I've played poker with bigger stakes than this. I decide to test my hunch. I'm holding the glass, swirling the wine like I'm about to drink, when I accidentally bump into a waiter passing by. "Oh, shoot," I say loud enough for Claire to hear as the glass tips and half the wine splashes onto the marble floor. Clumsy old man. I chuckle, playing it off, but my eyes are locked on Claire. Her face tightens for a split second, just a flash of panic before she plasters that fake smile back on. Gotcha, I think. She's not happy I didn't drink. But Claire's not an amateur. She recovers fast, gliding over to the bar like nothing happened. I watch her, my gut screaming that she's not done. Sure enough, she picks up another glass of wine from the bartender, and I catch the tiniest flick of her wrist, same move, same vial. She's got a backup plan. My blood runs cold. She's not just trying to pull this off. She's prepared for things to go wrong. I glance at Ellen Claire's mom standing nearby, chatting with a neighbor, her own glass empty. Ellen's a sweet lady, always a bit scattered, and I hate what I'm about to do, but I need answers. I set my half-empty glass next to her purse on the side table out of Claire's sight, and call out, "Ellen, grab a glass and join the toast." She smiles, picks up the new glass. Claire just poured the backup and takes a big sip. I'm holding my breath, watching Ellen like she's the only person in the room. Claire's back in the crowd, chatting up some guests, but her eyes keep darting to Ellen now, not me. She thinks I drank the first glass. 2 minutes later, Ellen's face changes. She sways, grabs the table and mutters, "This wine tastes off." Then she collapses, hitting the floor hard, her glass shattering. The room goes quiet for a split second before chaos erupts. People are shouting, someone's yelling for a doctor, and I'm kneeling beside Ellen, my heart racing. Foam's forming at her mouth, and her breathing's shallow. I feel like I've been kicked in the chest. I didn't mean for this to happen. I just wanted to test Claire, not put Ellen in a hospital bed. Claire's the first to react, rushing over with a scream that could win an Oscar. "Mom! Oh my God! Mom!" she cries, dropping to her knees, clutching Ellen's hand. But I'm not buying it. Her eyes are wild, scanning the room, and I catch it the way she glances at the shattered glass, then at me like she's trying to piece it together. She knows something's off. I keep my face blank, calling out, "Someone get 911 now!" But inside, I'm burning. Claire's performance is good. Tears shaking hands. But those eyes, they're not grieving. They're calculating like she's already planning her next move. And then I hear it barely a whisper as she leans close to Ethan in the chaos. How did Mom get it? Ethan's face goes white and he stammers, I don't know." That's when my worst fear hits me, like a freight train. My boy, my Ethan is in on this. I'm gutted. I keep seeing Ethan as a kid running to me with a scraped knee, calling me his hero. I stayed up nights helping him with homework, paid for his college, gave him and Claire the down payment for their house. And now, he's standing there looking like a deer in headlights, while his wife's poison takes down her own mom. My hands are shaking as I help the guests clear space for the paramedics, but my mind's racing. Why Ethan? Why me? I want to grab him, shake him, demand answers, but I've been in enough fights to know you don't show your hand too early. Claire's still playing the devastated daughter, sobbing into Ethan's shoulder, but I see her eyes dart to the bar, to the bottle of Pinot Noir we were all drinking from. That's when I make my move. While everyone's focused on Ellen, I slip to the bar, grab the bottle, and tuck it under my jacket. For the cops, I mutter to the bartender who's too frazzled to argue. I'm not letting that bottle out of my sight. If there's poison in it, I'm gonna find out. The paramedics burst in all lights, and urgency loading Ellen onto a stretcher. She's still breathing, thank God, but she's out cold. Claire's clinging to Ethan, wailing. What happened to her? But I'm watching Ethan now. He's pale, his hands stuffed in his pockets, and he won't meet my eyes. I know that look. He's scared, guilty. I've seen it since he was a kid, like the time he broke Susan's vase and tried to blame the dog. As the paramedics wheel Ellen out, I pull myself together. My heart's breaking, but I'm not some helpless old man they can knock off at a party. Claire's little whisper, "How did Mom get it?" keeps ringing in my ears. She didn't expect Ellen to drink that wine. She expected me to. And Ethan's reaction, that wasn't shock. That was fear of getting caught. I'm standing there, surrounded by my own party, but I feel like I'm in a war zone. My own son, my flesh and blood, might have just tried to kill me. It's a knife in my gut, but I've been through too much to let it break me. I'm gonna find out what's going on, and if they're coming for me, they're about to learn. I don't go down easy. You ever have one of those moments where the ground feels like it's slipping out from under you? That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, standing in my Chicago villa. The morning after my retirement party turned into a nightmare. I'm still reeling from watching Ellen, my daughter-in-law Claire's mom, hit the floor, foaming at the mouth after drinking wine meant for me. I saw Claire slip something into my glass, and when I made a quick move to spill it, she had a backup glass ready, one Ellen grabbed by mistake. Claire's fake tears didn't fool me, and that whisper to my son Ethan. How did Mom get it cut like a knife? My own boy, the kid I raised, might be in on a plot to take me out. I'm gutted. But I've been in enough fights to know you don't just stand there and take the hit. It's time to get answers, and I'm not waiting around to be anybody's sitting duck. The house is quiet now, the party mess cleared away, but my head's a war zone. I'm pacing the living room, the bottle of Pinot Noir from last night, tucked in a drawer like it's evidence in a crime show. I keep replaying Claire's cold eyes, Ethan's guilty look when she whispered to him, "How did I miss this?" I gave them everything money for their fancy house vacations, even Lily's college tuition. And now they're trying to poison me. I feel like I've been punched in the soul, but I'm not some old geezer who's gonna roll over. I grab my phone and call Thomas, my lawyer of 20 years, the guy who's seen me through every deal and disaster since Susan passed. "Bob, what's wrong?" he says, picking up on the first ring. His voice is steady, like always, but I hear the concern. Everything I say, and I spill it all. Claire the vile Ellen, collapsing Ethan's shifty eyes. Thomas doesn't miss a beat. "You're sure you saw her tamper with the wine?" he asks, all business. "Sure as I'm standing here," I tell him. "I need you to lock down my assets, Thomas. If they're coming for me, they're after the money. I sold my tech company for $25 million, and I'm not about to let Claire and Ethan cash in on my grave." Thomas promises to start on trust documents to protect my estate stuff that'll make it damn near impossible for anyone to touch my money without my say-so. And Bob, he adds, "You need to be careful. If they tried once, they'll try again." His words hit like a cold shower. I hang up my hands, shaking, not from fear, but from rage. My own son. How did it come to this? I'm not done, though. I need hard proof, not just my gut screaming at me. That's when I call Laura, a private investigator I've worked with before. She's sharp as a tack, the kind of woman who can dig up dirt on a saint. "Bob, you sound like hell," she says when I call. What's going on? I tell her about the party, the poison, and that whisper between Claire and Ethan. "I need you to look into them," I say. "Ethan, Claire, their finances, their secrets, everything." Laura doesn't flinch. "Give me 48 hours, she says. "If they're hiding something, I'll find it." I feel a flicker of hope, but it's drowned out by the ache in my chest. I keep seeing Ethan's face as a kid running to me with a baseball glove begging me to play catch. Now he's dodging my eyes while his wife tries to kill me. It's like losing him all over again. I'm walking through the living room trying to clear my head when I notice something off. There's a small black dot under the coffee table, barely the size of a dime. I kneel down, my knees creaking. Yeah, I'm 68, so what? And pick it up. It's a tiny microphone, a bug, the kind you see in spy movies. My blood runs cold. They're listening to me. Claire didn't just try to poison me. She's got my house wired to track my every move. I want to smash it, but I'm smarter than that. If they're watching, I'll give them a show. I grab my phone, pretend to call a doctor, and say loud enough for the bug to catch. "Hey, Doc, I'm feeling off after the party." Dizzy, weak, think it was something I drank. I pause, like I'm listening, then add, "Yeah, I'll come in tomorrow." I hang up smirking to myself. Let Claire think she's got me rattled. She's about to find out I play dirty, too. I head to my study, needing something to ground me. That's when I pull out a shoebox from the desk drawer where I keep old letters and photos. On top is a note from Lily, my granddaughter, written last year when I paid her first semester at Northwestern. "Grandpa Bob, you're my rock. I'm gonna make you proud. Love, Lily." I trace her handwriting, and for a second, I feel like I can breathe again. Lily's the one good thing in this mess, the one piece of my heart that hasn't been stomped on. I think about her at the party, her grin, her dreams of being a lawyer. She's why I'm not giving up. If Claire and Ethan think they can take me down, they're messing with the wrong grandpa. But God, the thought of Ethan being part of this, it's like a knife twisting in my gut. I raised him, loved him, gave him everything. Was it all for nothing? Laura calls back that afternoon, her voice all business. "Bob, it's bad," she says. "Ethan and Claire are drowning in debt, 100 grand, and counting. 2 mortgages on their house, maxed out credit cards, the works. And get this, Claire's got a history. She scammed a rich aunt out of 50 grand a few years back, before she married Ethan. Never got caught, but it's in the records if you know where to look. I feel like I've been hit by a truck. Claire's a con artist, and Ethan's tied to her, sinking in her mess." "Anything else?" I ask, my voice tight. "Yeah," Laura says. "They've been searching online for untraceable poisons and elderly competency laws. Sound like they're planning something bigger than a one-off." I hang up my head, spinning. Untraceable poisons. Competency laws. They're not just after my money, they're trying to lock me away. Maybe make it look like I'm losing my mind. I sit there staring at Lily's letter, and the pain hits like a wave. I keep seeing Ethan at 6, holding my hand at Susan's funeral, promising we'd always be a team. Now he's Googling ways to poison his old man. I want to scream to call him and demand answers, but I know better. If they're bugging my house, they're watching every move. I'm not just fighting for my money, I'm fighting for my life, my freedom, everything I've built. But I'm not done yet. I'm Bob Harrison, And I didn't build an empire by letting snakes like Claire call the shots. I tuck the bottle of wine away, lock the study door, and start planning. If they want a fight, they're gonna get one. And I'm playing to win. You ever feel like the people you love most are the ones who know exactly how to twist the knife? That's where I'm at. Bob Harrison, 68 years old, sitting in my Chicago villa's living room, still trying to wrap my head around the fact that my daughter-in-law Claire tried to poison me at my own retirement party. Ellen, her mom, ended up drinking the spiked wine by mistake, and now she's in the hospital fighting for her life. I've got the bottle of Pinot Noir locked away, and I just found a damn bug under my coffee table. Claire's been listening to my every word. My private investigator, Laura, dropped a bomb yesterday. Claire and my son, Ethan, are drowning in 100 grand of debt, and Claire's got a history of scamming family. Worse, they've been Googling poisons and laws about declaring old folks like me incompetent. My heart's in pieces, but I'm not some pushover grandpa. I'm playing their game now, and I'm playing to win. It's 2 days after the party, and I'm nursing a coffee staring at the roses in Susan's garden through the window when the doorbell rings. It's Claire and Ethan standing on my porch like they're here for Sunday brunch. Claire's got that fake smile plastered on, and Ethan's got his hands in his pockets, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Hey, Dad," Ethan says, his voice tight. "We just wanted to check on you after, you know, everything with Ellen." I nod, letting them in, but my gut's screaming, "Check on me, or make sure your poison didn't miss its mark." I offer them coffee, keeping my face neutral, but I'm already reaching for my phone in my pocket, hitting record. If they're gonna play dirty, I'm getting it on tape. We sit in the living room, the same spot where I found that bug. Claire's perched on the couch, all concern and soft eyes, like she's auditioning for a soap opera. "Bob," she starts, her voice dripping with honey, "we're so worried about you. After what happened to Mom, we can't stop thinking about how it could have been you. You're all alone in this big house." She pauses, glancing at Ethan, who nods like he's reading from a script. "Susan wouldn't want you living like this, would she? So isolated at your age, that hits me like a sucker punch. Susan, my wife, gone 15 years, and Claire's dragging her name into this." I feel my jaw tighten, but I keep my cool, sipping my coffee. "You don't get to use Susan against me, lady." I lean back, forcing a smile. "I'm doing fine, Claire. This house is home." But she's not letting up. She leans forward, her manicured nails tapping the couch. "Bob, you're 68. Things happen, falls, heart attacks. Golden Haven's a place where you'd be safe with people your age, activities, medical staff. Golden Haven." Laura mentioned that name. It's a fancy retirement home, the kind where they lock you away and charge a fortune for it. Ethan chimes in, his voice shaky but practiced. "Dad, they've got a doctor there. Dr. Larson, who's great with evaluating seniors, you know, to make sure you're okay." My blood runs cold. "Dr. Larson, the guy they've been paying to call me. Crazy." Laura's report flashes in my mind. Ethan's been wiring money to this guy for months, setting up some scheme to declare me incompetent. I'm pissed. Not just pissed, gutted. Ethan's sitting there, my boy. The kid I carried on my shoulders at Cubs games, now talking about locking me up like I'm some doddering old fool. I want to grab him, shake him, ask why he's doing this to me. But I've been in enough boardroom battles to know you don't show your cards when the stakes are this high. "That sounds thoughtful," I say, keeping my voice steady. "Tell me more about this Golden Haven." Claire's eyes light up like she thinks she's got me hooked. "It's like a resort," she says, pulling out her phone to show me a glossy website, smiling seniors playing golf, sipping tea by a pool. "They've got an opening, but you'd need to sign the papers soon. We can help with everything." "Yeah, help yourselves to my money, I think." I'm boiling inside, but I play along, nodding like I'm considering it. Sounds nice, I say. You got any paperwork I can look at? Ethan perks up, too eager. Yeah, Dad, we brought some stuff. Just basic forms. Admission, financial disclosure, power of attorney. Power of attorney. That's the kicker. They want control of my accounts, my life. I see Claire's smile tighten like she's trying not to look too excited. We just want you safe, Bob, she says, reaching out to touch my arm. Her hand feels like ice, and I have to fight not to pull away. Safe, my ass. They're not worried about me. They're worried I'll live too long and keep my money out of their hands. I keep the conversation light, asking about Golden Haven's amenities, but my phone's still recording every word. I'll think about it, I tell them, standing to walk them out. Big decision, you know. Claire's smile falters just for a second, and she says, Don't wait too long, Bob. At your age, anything could happen. There it is, the jab. At your age. Like I'm one step from the grave. I want to snap back, tell her I'm sharper than she'll ever be. But I just nod. Sure thing, Claire. Ethan's quiet, his eyes on the floor, and I catch that same guilty look from the party. My heart aches, but it's hardening too. I raised him better than this, or so I thought. As they leave, I watch them through the window, climbing into their shiny SUV they can't afford. Claire's talking fast, gesturing while Ethan just nods, looking like a kid caught stealing cookies. I head to my study, pull out my phone, and save the recording. If they're coming for me, I'm building a case. I sit at my desk, staring at a photo of me and Ethan from years ago, him in a Little League uniform, me cheering in the stands. I gave him everything, poured my heart into being his dad. Now he's sitting across from me, pushing me toward a nursing home so he and Claire can cash in. It's like a betrayal carved into my bones, but I'm not breaking. I'm Bob Harrison, and I've outsmarted tougher players than them. I pick up the phone to call Laura again. Dig deeper, I tell her. I want everything they're hiding. This isn't over, not by a long shot. You know that feeling when you realize the game's getting real and you're not just playing for pride anymore? That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, sitting in my car after a meeting with my lawyer Thomas in downtown Chicago. My head's still spinning from the last few days. My daughter-in-law Claire tried to poison me at my retirement party, and my son Ethan might be in on it. Ellen Claire's mom took the hit instead, collapsing after drinking wine meant for me. I found a bug in my living room, proof they're watching my every move, and my private investigator Laura confirmed Claire and Ethan are drowning in $100,000 of debt, with a side of Claire's shady past scamming family. Just yesterday, they came to my house all fake concern, pushing me toward a nursing home called Golden Haven, even name-dropping some shrink Dr. Larson, who's probably on their payroll to call me nuts. I recorded their little pitch, but now I'm starting to feel like I'm not just fighting for my money, I'm fighting for my life. I'm driving home, the city lights blurring past, when I notice a black sedan tailing me. At first I think I'm paranoid. 68 years old, maybe I'm seeing things, but the car sticks to me through every turn. My gut's screaming, and I've learned to trust it after decades in business. I take a sharp left into a quieter part of town near some old warehouses, and the sedan follows no hesitation. My heart's thumping like it's trying to bust out of my chest. Who the hell is this? I pull into a dark alley, hoping to lose them, but the sedan's right on my tail headlights, glaring in my rearview mirror. For the first time since this whole mess started, I feel real fear, not just anger or hurt, but that cold, primal dread that says you might not make it home. I'm not going down like some chump, though. I spot a dumpster up ahead and slow down like I'm pulling over. The sedan creeps closer, and I can make out a guy in a hoodie behind the wheel, his face shadowed. My hands are sweaty on the steering wheel, but I've been in tighter spots than this. I grab my phone, hold it to my ear, and start talking loud enough for anyone nearby to hear. Yeah, 911. I'm in an alley off Halstead. Got some creep tailing me. Send a squad car, quick. It's a bluff. I'm not calling anyone, but I see the driver tense up his head, jerking. He hits the gas and peels out tires, screeching, leaving me alone in the dark. I let out a shaky breath, my heart still racing. That was too close. I don't head straight home. I drive around for another 20 minutes, looping through side streets to make sure no one's still on me. When I finally pull into my garage, I'm shaking not just from the chase, but from what it means. Claire's not just playing dirty, she's willing to get violent. I call Laura from my study, my voice low in case there's another bug I haven't found. "Bob, you okay?" she asks, picking up on my tone. "Barely," I say, and I tell her about the sedan. She's quiet for a second, then says I dug into Claire's recent calls. She's been talking to a guy named Vinny, a lowlife for hire, petty theft, intimidation, that kind of thing. Looks like she paid him to scare you, maybe worse. My stomach drops. Scare me, or make sure I don't make it to Golden Haven. Laura adds I'm sending you his photo. If you see him again, call the cops for real. I hang up, my mind racing. Claire's not just a con artist, she's dangerous, and Ethan's letting her call the shots. I keep thinking about him, my boy, the kid who used to beg me to read him bedtime stories. I paid for his wedding, his house, his dreams, and now he's okay with some thug chasing his dad down an alley. The hurt cuts deeper than the fear, like a knife I can't pull out. But fear's a funny thing. It can break you, or it can light a fire. For me, it's the second. I'm not letting Claire and Ethan run me into the ground. I've built too much, fought too hard to let them win. I call a security company I've used before, the kind that outfits homes for CEOs and big shots. By noon, they're at my villa installing cameras at every entrance, motion sensors in the yard, and a panic button that'll bring the cops in under 3 minutes. I tell the neighbors it's because of package theft. Nobody blinks at that in the suburbs. As the technicians work, I feel a little steadier, like I'm taking back control. But the hurt's still there, gnawing at me. I think about Lily, my granddaughter, the one bright spot in this mess. She's at college, probably studying her heart out, and I can't let her down. I grab my phone and call her, needing to hear her voice. Grandpa Bob. Lily answers her voice like sunshine. "You okay? You sound off." I force a chuckle, not wanting to scare her. "Just missing you, kiddo. How's school?" She tells me about her law classes, how she aced a mock trial, and I can hear her smile through the phone. "You're gonna kill it, Lily," I say, meaning every word. "Don't let anything stop you." She pauses, then says, "Grandpa, are Mom and Dad acting weird? They keep texting me about you, saying you're not yourself." My heart sinks. They're laying the groundwork, aren't they? Trying to paint me as some confused old man, maybe even to Lily. I keep my voice steady. "Don't worry about me, sweetheart. I'm tougher than I look. Just focus on school. Okay?" She laughs, promises to visit soon, and I hang up, feeling a spark of hope. Lily's my reason to keep fighting, but that spark doesn't erase the fear. I'm sitting in my study staring at the photo Laura sent Vinny, the guy in the sedan with a rap sheet longer than my arm. Claire's not just after my money, she's willing to hurt me to get it. And Ethan? He's either too weak to stop her or too deep in to care. I think about the recording I made yesterday, their voices pushing Golden Haven, mentioning Dr. Larson. I play it back, hearing Claire's fake concern, Ethan's shaky agreement. It's like listening to strangers, not my family. I've spent my life building something to leave behind for them, and now they're trying to bury me to get it. The fear's still there, but it's turning into something else. Resolve hard as steel. I'm not just surviving this. I'm going to make them regret it. I call Laura again. Keep digging, I tell her. Find out everything about Vinnie Larson, anything they're planning. I'm not waiting for their next move. I've got cameras, a panic button, and a recording that'll burn them if it comes to it. Claire and Ethan think they've got me cornered, but they're wrong. I'm Bob Harrison, and I've outlasted tougher fights than this. They want to play dirty, I'll play dirtier. You ever have one of those moments where you think you've hit rock bottom only to find out the floor just gave way? That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, sitting in my study in my Chicago villa, trying to make sense of the hell my life's become. My daughter-in-law Claire tried to poison me at my retirement party, and my son Ethan might be in on it. Ellen Claire's mom ended up in the hospital after drinking the spiked wine meant for me. I found a bug in my living room, proof they're watching me. And my private investigator Laura confirmed Claire and Ethan are drowning in $100,000 of debt with Claire's shady past as a con artist. Just yesterday, I dodged a thug Claire hired to tail me in a dark alley, and now my house is rigged with cameras and a panic button to keep me safe. Claire and Ethan came by all fake concern, pushing me toward a nursing home called Golden Haven, even mentioning a Dr. Larson, who's probably paid to call me crazy. I've got their voices on tape, but the hurt's eating me alive. I raised, Ethan gave him everything, and now this. It's late afternoon, the kind of gray, dreary day that makes everything feel heavier. I'm at my desk staring at a photo of me and Ethan from his high school graduation, him in a cap and gown, me grinning like I'd won the lottery. My phone buzzes, snapping me out of it. It's Laura, and her voice is grim. "Bob, you sitting down?" she asks. "This is gonna hit hard." I brace myself, my stomach already twisting. "Lay it on me," I say, trying to sound tougher than I feel. She takes a deep breath. Ethan's been paying a geriatric psychiatrist, Dr. Larson, for 3 months. Small payments like consultation fees, starting way before they pitched Golden Haven. Looks like they're building a case to declare you incompetent to take control of your money. I feel like the air's been sucked out of the room. Ethan, my boy. The kid I taught to drive the one I bailed out, when his business tanked, planning to lock me up like some senile old man. Laura keeps going, and it gets worse. "There's more," she says. "Claire took out a life insurance policy on you 6 months ago, $500,000 with her as the beneficiary. She claimed insurable interest as your caregiver, but it's fishy as hell. The timing lines up with Ethan's payments to Larson. My head's spinning. A life insurance policy. They've been planning my death for half a year, not just a spur-of-the-moment thing at the party. I grip the phone so hard my knuckles turn white. "Anything else?" I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. "Yeah," Laura says. I hacked into Claire's old phone records, found a text she sent Ethan a month ago. "The stubborn old man's not budging. We need to speed this up." Sounds like you're the stubborn old man they're talking about. I let out a bitter laugh, but inside I'm breaking. Stubborn old man? That's what they call me after everything I've done for them. I hang up, and the room feels like it's closing in. I gave Ethan all I had: my heart, my time, my money. I paid for his college, his house, his dreams, thinking it was for our family. And now he's paying some shrink to say I'm losing it, while Claire's betting $500,000 on my funeral. I slump in my chair staring at that graduation photo, and it's like a knife in my gut. "I gave you everything, Ethan," I whisper to the empty room. but you want me gone. I see his face as a kid, laughing as we built a treehouse in the backyard, promising he'd always be my buddy. Was it all a lie? The pain's so raw, it's like losing Susan all over again. But worse this time, it's my own flesh and blood stabbing me in the back. I want to call Ethan, scream at him, demand to know why. But I've been around the block too long to let my heart call the shots. Claire and Ethan think I'm some doddering fool too old to see through their game. They're wrong, and I'm gonna make them pay for underestimating me. I pick up the phone and call Thomas, my lawyer, the guy who's had my back since Susan's passing. "Bob, you sound like hell," he says. "Picking up." "What now?" I tell him about Laura's report, the payments to Larson, the insurance policy, Claire's text. They're trying to lock me up and cash in. I say, my voice steady, despite the storm inside. "I need you to draw up a fake power of attorney, something that'll make them think they've won. Let's set a trap." Thomas doesn't hesitate. "I'm on it," he says. "But Bob, watch your back. They're not playing around." I nod even though he can't see me. Neither am I. I lean back, my mind racing. That text, stubborn old man, keeps echoing like a slap I can't shake off. Claire's not just greedy. She's ruthless. And Ethan's letting her run the show. I think about the bug in my living room, the thug in the alley, and now this proof they've been plotting for months. It's not just about the money anymore. It's about taking away my freedom, my life. I feel a flicker of fear, but it's drowned out by something stronger, anger, cold and sharp. I've built an empire from nothing face-down competitors who thought they could outsmart me. Claire and Ethan. They're just the latest in a long line of people who underestimated Bob Harrison. I walk to the window looking out at Susan's rose garden, the one thing in this house that still feels like her. I think about Lily, my granddaughter, the one light in this darkness. She's out there chasing her dreams at Northwestern, and I'll be damned if I let Claire and Ethan take that away from her. I pull out my phone and listen to the recording from yesterday. Claire's fake concern, Ethan's shaky voice, pushing Golden Haven. It's ammo, and I'm loading up. I'm not just fighting for me. I'm fighting for Lily, for Susan's memory, for everything I've built. Claire and Ethan think they've got me cornered, but they're about to learn what happens when you push an old man too far. I'm setting a trap, and when it springs, they'll wish they'd never crossed me. You ever get a lifeline when you're drowning and realize you might just make it through? That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, sitting in my Chicago villa. My heart still raw from the betrayal of my son Ethan and his wife Claire. She tried to poison me at my retirement party, and Ethan's in on it, paying a shrink Dr. Larson to call me incompetent, while Claire took out a $500 life insurance policy on me. Ellen, Claire's mom, nearly died drinking the wine meant for me, and I've been dodging Claire's hired thug and her bugs in my house. My lawyer Thomas is prepping fake power of attorney papers, and I've set up a family meeting to trap them. Just yesterday, I got a text from an unknown number. Don't sign anything. They're lying to you, and it's lit a fire in me. I'm not alone anymore, and I'm ready to flip Claire and Ethan's game on its head. But nothing could have prepared me for who's about to walk through my door. It's Thursday morning, the day before my big fake meeting, and I'm in my kitchen brewing coffee, the bottle of tainted Pinot Noir still locked in my study. The doorbell rings, and I check the security camera. Ellen's standing on my porch, looking pale but determined, clutching her purse like it's her last anchor. Ellen, the woman who almost died because of Claire's poison. I let her in, my heart pounding. "Ellen, you're out of the hospital," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. "How you holding up?" She sits at my kitchen table, her hands trembling. "Bob, She says, her voice low. I need to talk to you about the party. Something's not right. My gut twists. Is this the one who sent the text? I pour her coffee, sit across from her, and brace myself for whatever's coming. Ellen takes a shaky sip, her eyes fixed on the table. The wine I drank, she starts it, tasted, off like metal. I remember feeling dizzy, and right before I passed out, I saw Claire near the bar messing with a little bottle. My breath catches. She saw it too. I lean forward, keeping my face calm, but inside I'm reeling. What kind of bottle, I ask? Small, like for medicine or oils, she says. I didn't think much of it then, but now… Bob, I think Claire meant that wine for you. Her voice cracks, and I see tears in her eyes. She's my daughter, but she's been acting strange for months, asking me weird questions about your will, how much money you've got, if you've changed it recently. My blood runs cold. Claire wasn't just scheming against me, she was pumping her own mom for info. I feel a wave of relief, like a weight's been lifted. Ellen's the one who sent that text. I'm sure of it now. Ellen, I say softly, did you send me a message yesterday about not signing anything? She nods, her face crumpling. I had to Bob. I woke up in the hospital, and it hit me. Claire didn't care I almost died. She was more worried about you, about why you didn't drink that wine. Her voice breaks, and she covers her face. My own daughter tried to kill you, and I got caught in the crossfire. I reach out, put a hand on her shoulder, and for the first time in days, I don't feel alone. But God, it hurts to see Ellen like this, betrayed by her own kid, just like me. I'm so sorry, Ellen, I say, and I mean it. But you're not alone in this. We're gonna stop them. Inside, I'm torn up. Ellen's pain mirrors mine, both of us stabbed in the back by the people we love most. I think about Ethan, my boy who used to climb into my lap for stories, now helping Claire plan my downfall. I gave him everything, college, a house, a fresh start when his business tanked. And Claire, she's not just greedy. She's cold as ice, using her own mom as a pawn. I want to scream to call Ethan and demand answers, but I've been in enough fights to know anger doesn't win battles. Strategy does. Ellen's here, and she's my ace in the hole. Ellen, I say, my voice firm, I've got a plan. I'm setting up a family meeting tomorrow to make Claire and Ethan think I'm signing over my money. I need you there to tell them what you just told me. Her eyes widen, but she nods. I'll do it, Bob. For both of us. I feel a spark of hope, like a light in the dark. Ellen's not just a victim, she's a fighter like me. But there's still that ache knowing Claire betrayed her own mom, the woman who raised her. It's like looking in a mirror, my pain reflected in Ellen's tears. I push it down, focusing on the plan. One more thing I say. That bottle of wine from the party, I'm sending it to a lab to test for poison. If it's what we think, it's hard evidence. Ellen's eyes harden. Do it, she says. Claire needs to face what she's done. I call Laura, my PI, and tell her to get the bottle to a private lab ASAP. Rush it, I say. I want results by tomorrow. Laura's all business. You got it, Bob. And I've got more on Claire's calls to that thug Vinny. It's tight. I hang up, feeling the pieces coming together. As Ellen leaves, promising to be back for the meeting, I sit in my kitchen staring at the empty coffee cups. I think about Lily, my granddaughter safe at Northwestern, and Susan, my wife, whose roses still bloom outside. This fight's for them, too. Claire and Ethan think I'm some old fool they can push around, but with Ellen on my side, I've got a shot to bring them down. That text, stubborn old man, still burns, but now it's fuel. I'm not just fighting to save my money. I'm fighting to save my life, my legacy. Tomorrow, when Claire and Ethan walk through my door, they'll think they've got me beat. But with Ellen's testimony, that lab report, and Thomas's fake papers, I'm about to turn their world upside down. I'm Bob Harrison, and I've been playing this game longer than they've been alive. You know that moment when everything you've been fighting for comes down to one shot, and you've got to make it count. That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, standing in my Chicago villa's dining room, my heart pounding like a drum, but my head sharp as a razor. It's Friday, the day of the family meeting I set up to trap my daughter-in-law Claire and my son Ethan. Claire tried to poison me at my retirement party, and Ethan's been in on it, paying a shrink, Dr. Larson, to call me incompetent, while Claire took out a $500,000 life insurance policy on me. Ellen, Claire's mom, nearly died drinking the wine meant for me, and now she's my ally, ready to back me up after confirming Claire's scheme. I've got a bug in my living room, a thug chasing me, and a bottle of tainted wine sent to a lab. My lawyer, Thomas, has fake power of attorney papers ready, and my PI, Laura, has handed over every scrap of dirt texts, call logs, bank records to the cops. Today, Claire and Ethan think they're walking away with my money. They're about to learn they picked the wrong old man to mess with. The dining room's set, like a stage-long oak table chairs, arranged my security cameras rolling silently. I've got the fake papers in a folder looking official as hell, and the recording from when Claire and Ethan pushed Golden Haven, that nursing home they want to lock me in. Ellen's due any minute, and Laura's tipped off the police who are waiting nearby with the lab results on that wine and Claire's insurance scam. My phone buzzes with a text from Laura. Cops have the wine report. Oleander poison clear as day. Ready when you are. My gut twists with a mix of nerves and excitement. Oleander. Deadly hard to trace exactly what a snake like Claire would use. I'm ready to bring this house of cards down. But God, the thought of facing Ethan, my boy, my heart makes my chest ache. I gave him everything, and he chose this. The doorbell rings and Claire and Ethan step in, all smiles and fake concern. Claire's in a sharp blazer like she's closing a business deal, and Ethan's fidgeting, his eyes darting like he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. "Bob, you look good," Claire says, her voice syrupy, sweet. "Ready to make things official." Ethan nods, forcing a smile. "Yeah, Dad, this is the right move." I gesture to the table, keeping my face calm. "Let's sit. Got the papers right here." Ellen arrives next, her face pale but her jaw set. She gives me a nod, and I feel a surge of gratitude she's in this with me. Lily, my granddaughter, is at college, safe from this mess, and I'm thankful for that. Thomas walks in, last briefcase in hand, looking every bit the lawyer who's about to ruin someone's day. We sit, and I slide the folder of fake papers across the table. "This is it," I say, my voice steady. "Power of attorney, Golden Haven, admission the works. Just need to sign." Claire's eyes light up greedy as hell, and she reaches for the folder like it's a winning lottery ticket. Ethan's hands are shaking, but he's nodding like he's trying to convince himself this is okay. I let them flip through the papers, watching Claire's smile grow. Then I lean back, my heart pounding, and say, "Before we sign, let's clear the air. I've got something to play for you." I pull out my phone, hit play, and the room fills with Claire's voice from that recording. "Don't wait too long, Bob. At your age, anything could happen." Then Ethan Dr. Larson's great with evaluating seniors. Claire's smile freezes, and Ethan's face goes white. I don't stop there. I pull up another file, a text Laura found, and read it out loud. Claire to Ethan. "The stubborn old man's not budging. We need to speed this up." Claire's eyes narrow, but she's still trying to play it cool. "Bob? What is this?" She snaps, her voice sharp. I look her dead in the eye. "It's the truth, Claire. You tried to poison me at my party. That wine you poured, It had oleander in it, deadly stuff. I switched glasses, and Ellen got it instead. Ellen speaks up, her voice trembling but strong. I tasted it, Claire. Metal bitter. I saw you by the bar with a vial. You meant to kill Bob. The room goes dead silent. Claire's mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Ethan's staring at the table, his hands clenched. I keep going, my voice low, but steady. I've got more. Laura, my PI, found your $500 life insurance policy on me, Claire, and Ethan, those payments to Dr. Larson. You were setting me up to look incompetent to take my money. I slide a copy of the bank records across the table showing Larson's payments. Claire's face twists, and she snaps. This is ridiculous. You're paranoid, Bob. But before she can finish, the doorbell rings. I open it, and 2 cops step in, badges flashing. Mr. Harrison, one says, "We've got the lab report. The wine from your party tested positive for oleander, a lethal poison. And we've got evidence of a life insurance policy taken out by Claire Harrison with intent to harm." Claire's eyes go wide, and she starts to stand, but the cop stops her. "Stay seated, ma'am." Claire loses it, her voice shrill. "This is insane. I didn't do anything, Ethan, tell them." She turns on him, grabbing his arm, but Ethan's frozen, his face ashen. I didn't know about the poison," he stammers, looking at me with desperate eyes. "Dad, I swear I thought we were just protecting you." I stare at him, my heart breaking, but my resolve hard as steel. "Protecting me?" I say, my voice cracking. "I gave you everything, Ethan, my heart, my home, my life. But you and Claire chose to take my life instead." A tear rolls down my cheek, and I don't wipe it away. The room feels heavy, like the air's been sucked out. Ellen's crying quietly, her hand over her mouth, and Thomas is watching Claire like she's a cornered animal. The cop steps forward. "Claire Harrison, you're under arrest for attempted murder." As they cuff her, she screams, "Ethan, you useless idiot! This is your fault!" Ethan's head drops, and he whispers, "Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean," but I cut him off. "You knew enough, Ethan. You paid Larson. You let her call me a stubborn old man. You broke my heart." The cops lead Claire out, still shouting, and Ethan just sits there, a broken man. I look at him, my son, and all I see is the boy who used to run to me for help. But that boy's gone, and I'm done pretending he's not. As the door closes behind Claire, I sit back, my hands shaking. I think about Susan, my wife, who'd be gutted to see what our son's become. I think about Lily, safe at college, the one piece of my heart still intact. I've won this round, but it doesn't feel like victory. It feels like loss, like I've lost Ethan for good. Ellen reaches out, squeezes my hand, and says, "You did what you had to." "Bob." I nod, but inside, I'm torn apart. Claire and Ethan thought they could bury me, but I turned their plot against them. I'm still standing, but damn, it hurts like hell. You ever win a fight but feel like you've lost something bigger? That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, sitting in my Chicago villa's study, the echoes of yesterday's showdown still ringing in my ears. My daughter-in-law Claire tried to poison me at my retirement party, and my son Ethan was in on it, paying a shrink Dr. Larson to call me incompetent, while Claire took out a $500 funder life insurance policy on me. Ellen Claire's mom nearly died drinking the wine meant for me, but she became my ally, helping me expose them. I set a trap with fake power of attorney papers, played Claire's damning recording, and watched the cops haul her away for attempted murder after proving the wine had oleander. Ethan begged for forgiveness, but his betrayal, my own boy, cut deeper than any knife. I'm still standing, but damn, it feels like I've lost a piece of my heart. Now it's time to pick up the pieces and figure out what comes next. It's been a week since that family meeting turned into Claire's arrest. The courts moved fast. Claire got slapped with 15 years for attempted murder, no parole for at least a decade. The judge didn't buy her crocodile tears, especially after seeing the lab report on the wine, and Laura's evidence of that life insurance policy. Ethan's lawyer played the he didn't know about the poison card, and it worked, sort of. He got 3 years for conspiracy, a lighter sentence, but his name's mud now. My $25 million from selling my tech company. Locked tight in trusts Thomas set up untouchable, unless I say so. If Ethan ever gets out and tries to challenge my will, he'll get nothing but a small annual stipend, enough to live, not enough to live large. Claire. She gets zilch. I don't care if that sounds cold. You try to kill me, you're out of my life. I'm sitting at my desk, the weight of it all pressing down. My phone pings with a notification from the prison, a letter from Ethan marked urgent. I stare at the envelope, his familiar handwriting scrawled across it. Dad, I'm sorry, it starts, and I can't bring myself to read past that. I trace the words, my chest tight. I see Ethan as a kid running to me with a busted kite, trusting me to fix it. I gave him everything, college, a house, a second chance, when his business failed. And he paid a shrink to say I was losing it, let Claire plan my murder. I want to rip the letter up, burn it. But instead, I fold it and tuck it into a drawer. I forgive you, Ethan, I whisper to the empty room. But I'm living for me now. It's not about hate, it's about letting go. I've spent too long carrying his mistakes. The hurt's still there, like a bruise that won't fade. But I'm not wallowing. I call Thomas to double-check the trusts. You're bulletproof now, Bob, he says, his voice warm. No one's touching your money, and if anyone tries to call you incompetent, the trusts shift to charity. I chuckle, a real one this time. You're a genius, Thomas. He laughs. Just doing my job for a tough old bastard. That's me, tough, maybe a little broken, but still here. I hang up feeling lighter, like I've taken back control. Claire and Ethan thought they could bury me, but I'm the one standing, and that's something. Later that day, I head to a coffee shop in town to meet Ellen. She's become a friend through this mess, two old souls bonded by betrayal. She's waiting at a corner table looking stronger than when I saw her last. Her eyes bright, despite everything. Bob, she says, hugging me, you did it. You stopped her. I shrug, stirring my coffee. We stopped her, Ellen. You were my ace in the hole. She smiles, but it's bittersweet. I raised Claire to be better than this. I keep thinking, where did I go wrong? I know that feeling too well. It's not on you, I say. They made their choices. We sit there sipping coffee, talking about life, her grandkids, my garden, anything but Claire and Ethan. It's not much, but it's a start, a reminder that there's still good in the world even after it's kicked you in the teeth. A few days later, Lily shows up at my villa, her ponytail bouncing like always. Grandpa, she says, throwing her arms around me. I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. Her voice cracks, and I see tears in her eyes. I hug her tight, my heart swelling. Not your fault, kiddo, I say. You're the best thing in my life. She pulls back, looking at me with those big, earnest eyes. I found your letter. You're my hero, Grandpa. Always will be. I choke up, but I cover it with a grin. Come on, I say. Let's do something Susan would have loved. We head to the backyard where I've been neglecting her rose garden. Lily grabs a shovel and we start planting new roses, the kind Susan used to tend with such care. The sun's warm, the dirt's soft, and for the first time in weeks, I feel peace. Lily's laughter, her stories about college, it's like a balm on my soul. We're knee-deep in mulch when Lily says, Grandpa, I got into Northwestern's pre-law program like you suggested. I stop, my heart bursting. That's my girl, I say, pulling her into a muddy hug. You're gonna change the world. She grins, and I see Susan in her smile, that same fire. This is what I'm fighting for, not just money, but moments like this, with the people who matter. Claire and Ethan tried to take that from me, but they failed. I'm still here planting roses, building a future with Lily. It's not about revenge anymore. It's about living, really living, despite the scars they left. Back in my study that night, I pull out Ethan's letter again. I don't open it, just hold it, feeling the weight of what could have been. I think about Susan, how she'd want me to keep going to find joy even after this. I think about Ellen starting over, like me and Lily carrying the torch for our family. I've lost Ethan maybe forever, but I've gained something too, a clarity about what matters. I'm not just a stubborn old man, as Claire called me. I'm Bob Harrison, and I've got fight left in me. I tuck the letter away, pour a glass of wine, not the poisoned kind, and raise it to the empty room. Here's to living, I say, and for the first time in a long time, I mean it. You ever come through a storm and realize you're still standing maybe stronger than before? That's me, Bob Harrison, 68 years old, sitting on a bench in my Chicago villa's backyard, watching the roses glow under the late afternoon sun. It's been a month since I turned the tables on my daughter-in-law Claire and my son Ethan in that family meeting that ended with Claire in handcuffs and Ethan begging for forgiveness. Claire tried to poison me at my retirement party, and Ethan was in on it, paying a shrink Dr. Larson to call me incompetent, while Claire banked on a $500 life insurance policy. Ellen Claire's mom nearly died drinking the wine meant for me, but she became my ally, helping me expose them with a recording of fake power of attorney and lab results proving the wine was laced with oleander. Claire's doing 15 years, Ethan got 3, and my money's locked in trusts, safe from their greed. I forgave Ethan in my heart, but walked away, choosing to live for me and the people who matter. Now, as the dust settles, I'm finding my way back to something like peace. I'm out here in Susan's rose garden, the one she loved, the one I've been tending again with Lily, my granddaughter. The air smells sweet, like hope, and I'm thinking about how far I've come. Claire and Ethan thought I was just a stubborn old man, too frail to see through their game. They were wrong. I outsmarted them, not because I'm some genius, but because I've spent a lifetime fighting building a tech empire from nothing, raising a family, surviving Susan's loss. Age doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise if you choose it. I lean back, closing my eyes, and whisper to myself, age is just a number. Strength is how you live. It's not just words. It's the truth I've earned, carved out of betrayal and pain. My phone buzzes, pulling me back. It's a text from Ellen Bob. I'm writing a book about what happened, our story, to warn others. You in? I smile, a real one, the kind I haven't felt in a while. Ellen's been my rock through this, a friend forged in the fire of our kids' betrayal. She's calling it a book on elder abuse, using our mess to shine a light on folks like us, older, but not out of the game. A book that's a curveball I didn't see coming. I text back, count me in, Ellen. Let's make some noise. The idea of our story out there helping others gives me a spark I didn't know I needed. Claire and Ethan wanted to bury me, but now I'm helping write the book on fighting back. How's that for irony? The back door swings open, and Lily bounds out her ponytail, bouncing a grin as big as the sun. Grandpa, ready to get dirty, she calls, holding a tray of new rose bushes we picked out last week. I laugh, grabbing my gardening gloves. Born ready, kiddo. We kneel in the dirt, planting roses where Susan's used to grow, the earth cool under my hands. Lily's chatting a mile a minute about her pre-law classes at Northwestern, her new debate team, how she aced a paper on ethics. You'd love it, Grandpa. She says it's all about standing up for what's right. I look at her, my heart swelling. You're already doing it, Lily, I say. You're my hero now. She blushes, nudging me with her elbow, and we laugh, the sound echoing in the golden light of the sunset. As we work, I think about Ethan locked away his letter still unopened in my drawer. I forgave him, but I can't carry his weight anymore. I think about Claire sitting in a cell, her schemes crumbling. They wanted my money, my life, but they got nothing but consequences. And me, I got something better, freedom, clarity, and moments like this with Lily. I'm not just surviving. I'm living, really living in a way I hadn't in years. Susan would be proud, I think, watching us from somewhere with that smile of hers. I plant the last rose, patting the dirt, and Lily leans against me, her head on my shoulder. "This is nice," she says softly. "Yeah," I reply, my voice thick. "It's perfect." Later, as the sun dips low, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, I sit back on the bench, Lily beside me, both of us muddy and happy. I think about Ellen's book, Lily's Future, and the roses we've planted. Claire and Ethan thought they could break me, but they didn't know who they were dealing with. I'm Bob Harrison, and I've learned that the best revenge isn't hate. It's living well surrounded by the people who lift you up. I look at Lily, her face glowing in the twilight, and I know I've won something bigger than money. I've won my life back. I raise an imaginary glass to the sky, to Susan, to Lily, to Ellen, to everyone who keeps fighting. Here's to those who never stop. I say out loud, and Lily giggles, raising her own pretend glass. To never giving up, she adds. And as the stars start to peek out, I feel at peace, real and solid, like a promise kept. This story's not about poison or betrayal anymore. It's about strength, about choosing to live no matter what comes at you. And for anyone out there still fighting, this one's for you, to the ones who never stop battling for themselves.